You ever see a semi with red headlights, chrome teeth on the grille, and flames that don't flicker with the wind? No. Good. 'Cause if you do and it flashes you to race, don't. Not unless you're ready to put your soul on the line. So, listen, I wasn't always the superstitious type. Spent most of my life behind the wheel hauling freight from coast to coast. You see a lot of weird stuff at 2 a.m. on empty highways. Hitchhikers who vanish when you blink. Gas stations that weren't there yesterday. Even a coyote that spoke English once. Swear to God. But none of that ever messed me up like what happened out near Dead Man's Ridge. Yeah, that place, you probably heard the stories. Most folks think it's just trucker folklore, campfire fuel. But what happened to me? That was real. And I got the burn marks on my dashboard to prove it. It was the summer of 19, hottest damn August I can remember. I'd picked up a load of old arcade machines out of Reno, real retro junk, Pac-Man, Gallagher, you name it. Destination, a hipster, bar down in Flagstaff. Nothing fancy. I was making good time too. Clean roads, clear skies, coffee thermos full, podcasts lined up. I was cruising along I-40 just past midnight, somewhere near that stretch where cell signal dies and the landscape turns into nothing but scrub brush and haunted-looking rock formations. That's when I saw the lights. Now I ain't talking regular headlights. These were deep crimson, like brake light red. They were too high off the ground to be a car, and they weren't bouncing or dipping like headlights normally do. They just glided. I figured, okay, some kid jacked a semi and threw on red gels for a laugh. But then it pulled up behind me, and I felt it. Not just saw it, felt it. The temperature in the cab dropped like someone opened a freezer. My breath fogged the windshield. The hairs on my arms stood up like they were trying to run away. My dog, a mutt named Baxter, who'd slept through hurricanes, sat up and started growling real low, ears flat. I glanced in the mirror. That semi had a grill like a jaw full of steel teeth, polished chrome that caught just enough moonlight to make it gleam like it was smiling. Flames licked up its fenders, real flames, not paint. And the engine didn't rumble. It growled, a deep inhuman rumble that vibrated through my chest and made the air taste like copper. The rig flashed its brights, once, twice, then again. At first I thought it was just tailgating, trying to pass. So I eased over to let it by, but it didn't move. It stayed right on me. And then the CB crackled to life. I hadn't used my CB in months. Nobody does anymore except old schoolers and ghost hunters. But it crackled, and a voice came through, not like a voice through a speaker, though. It felt like it was inside my skull. Race me, Daniel. I froze. My name. It knew my name. Mile marker 666. 1 mile drag, you win, I vanish, you lose. Your rig's mine. Then static. I looked over at Baxter. He was whining now, curled up like he wanted to melt into the floorboards. Hell no, I whispered, trying to shake the fear, chalking it. Up to sleep deprivation. Maybe I'd mixed up some bad coffee or finally snapped from too many solo miles. So I did what any sane trucker would do. I floored it. Let me tell you, my Kenworth ain't no sports car, but she's got some guts when... You need 'em! Turbo kicked in and we roared down the highway. I checked the mirror. The demon truck still there, effortless, didn't even look like it was trying, just hovering like death on wheels, waiting. That's when I saw it up ahead. Mile marker 66, yup, it exists. Look it up if you want. It's one of those signs folks like to steal or paint over, except tonight it stood tall and untouched, gleaming silver under the moon. I passed it, and the road changed. Suddenly I wasn't on I-40 anymore. The pavement. Beneath my tires cracked and glowed faintly red. The desert around me blurred into shadows, and the horizon. It was a wall of black. Then the demon semi pulled alongside. It didn't pass. It waited. The side of the truck had something scrawled in rust-colored paint. Or maybe blood, hell if I know. It read, "The Soul Run," and beneath it, etched into, "The metal. You race, you risk, you ride forever." It revved its engine, and this time I heard it laugh, so yeah, that's where it started. Me, a long-haul nobody with a cab full of vintage arcade junk. Challenged to a death race by a semi from hell. You think that's the scariest part? Nah, man, the scariest part was that I said, screw it, let's ride. You ever done something so stupid, so completely unhinged, that halfway through, you're laughing just to keep from screaming. That was me, foot to the floor, sweat on my neck, teeth clenched around a coffee stirrer like it was a last cigarette. I'd just accepted a highway race against a hell-forged death truck, and the finish line wasn't just metal and pride. It was my goddamn soul. Yeah, and the worst part, a small greasy part of me was excited. We tore past mile marker 66, and the second we crossed that line, everything changed. The desert vanished. It was just gone, like someone had hit a cosmic light switch. Now the road was black, not asphalt black. I mean like obsidian, mirror slick, reflected everything, including that demon truck next to me, trailing smoke and flame like it had just come straight from Satan's garage. No signs, no stars, just us. Two rigs screaming through a void. The speed demon, yeah, that's what I started calling it in my head, was keeping pace, maybe even pulling ahead just a little. Every time I glanced over, I saw something new. 1 second the cab was empty. The next, there was a figure in the driver's seat. Couldn't make it out fully, just a silhouette, horns curling against the windshield glass, eyes burning like cigarette coals. No face, just presence. I reached over and cranked up my engine brake, shifting gears like I was wringing a dragon's neck. My rig whined, coughed, then roared forward with everything it had. The old Kenworth was a beast, but next to that thing it felt like riding a faithful hound against a demon stallion. Then the CB crackled again. "Push it, Dan. Let's see how fast your soul can bleed," I yelled back without touching the mic. "You want my soul, you better earn it." And the speed demon laughed. Not just through the radio, but through the pavement. The road itself pulsed like it was alive. Every bump vibrated up into my seat. I started seeing things, faces in the reflection of the road, some twisted in pain, others screaming. One looked like me. That's when the heat came. The cab went from chilly to oven hot in seconds. Sweat poured from my scalp. Baxter, God bless him, was barking his damn head off in the sleeper, tail between his legs, eyes wide like he saw death itself. I didn't blame him. I felt it too. This wasn't just a race. It was a ritual. Like I'd signed a deal without realizing it, and now the road wanted my signature in blood. The speed demon swerved toward me, hard, trying to clip my front end. I yanked the wheel, just dodging it. Tires screeched like tortured souls, and the trailer jackknifed enough to make my heart stop. Somehow I stayed upright. "Nice try, you flaming bastard," I muttered, tightening my grip on the wheel. But it wasn't done. From the speed demon's smokestacks, black fire erupted, like tar, mixed with lightning. It shot across the void and struck the side mirror on my driver's side. The whole thing exploded in sparks. Baxter yelped. I hit the Jake brake again, downshifted, let my turbo spool, and slammed the throttle. My rig leapt forward with a roar that echoed off the nothingness around us. For a second, just a second, I pulled ahead, and that's when the horn blew. Holy hell, you ever hear a sound so loud it shakes your teeth loose? Imagine that, but inside your mind. That horn didn't come from the speed demon's cab, it came from underneath the world. It blasted across that black mirror highway and hit me like a sledgehammer to the soul. I bit my tongue, tasted blood. But I didn't lift off the gas. That's the one thing they never tell you in stories like this. You don't win against a demon by being faster. You win by being stubborn. And I'm the most stubborn son of a bitch that ever hauled freight through Texas during monsoon season. Up ahead, I saw something. A shape, glowing, a finish line. It was a bridge, steel, rusted, floating over a sea of writhing shadows. The kind of bridge you cross in a dream where everything's just wrong. And on the other side, a dim glimmer of a real road. Like maybe, just maybe, this was the way out. But the demon was gaining. I could hear it growling now, not the engine. It, like the truck itself, was alive, hungry, ready to devour my wheels and drag me down under. I whispered a prayer, not to God, but to the truck. Come on, girl. You've taken me through blizzards and brake failures and 6 months without a decent paycheck. Don't fail me now. I saw the speed demon's grill edge up beside mine. It turned its headlights, those red, glowing eyes, right toward me. Not the road, me. And then I heard the words again. Lose and the road never ends. You become the next challenger. I slammed the gas and screamed over the roar of the engines. Then I guess I'm winning, you son of a... We hit the bridge. The rig shook so violently I thought the trailer would rip off. Metal groaned, tires screamed, Baxter barked like the sky was falling. The demon screamed too, a sound like 10,000 brakes locking up in hell. I shot across the bridge. Heart in my throat, eyes locked on the thin line of grey road on the other side. Then, silence. I burst through. The desert snapped back. Stars overhead. Asphalt under tires. Familiar road signs. I slammed on the brakes, skidding to a stop in the breakdown lane, steam pouring from my hood. The only sound now was my engine hissing and Baxter panting like he'd just survived a nuclear war. I looked in the rearview mirror. Nothing. No red lights. No flames, just an empty stretch of blacktop behind me. I climbed out on shaking legs and walked back to the trailer. The side mirror, gone. The left panel, burned. But we were alive. We made it. And the road, quiet again, just like before. Only now, sometimes, when I pass a rig late at night and it flashes its lights, twice just like that, I get this itch in my chest. This pull like it's not over. Like maybe I didn't win, maybe I just got a head start. You ever feel watched even when you're alone? Not just a tingle or a weird vibe, I'm talking full-on something breathing down your neck kind. A feeling. That's been my life ever since I crossed that bridge. Ever since I beat the speed demon. If I beat it. Honestly, I'm not so sure anymore. It started small. The next morning, I figured I'd dreamed the whole thing. I was parked at a truck stop outside Holbrook. Sun was rising, coffee tasted like burnt dirt, and Baxter was back to his usual snoring self. No smoke, no red lights, no Black Mirror road, just me, and my rig, and a vague sense of wrong that wouldn't let go. I walked a circle around the truck. That's, when I saw it, a scorched handprint on the side of my trailer. It wasn't paint, wasn't soot. It was branded into the metal, 5 long fingers, each ending in a claw. The steel warped where it touched, like something reached out from hell and tried to drag the trailer in. I should have walked away right then, sold the rig, gone off-grid, changed my name and started selling coconuts on some island where trucks didn't exist. But no, I climbed back in, turned the key, and got back on the road. Like a damn fool. The real weirdness didn't hit until 3 days later, somewhere in Oklahoma. I was hauling freight through the panhandle when I passed a rest stop, and there it was. A truck, not the speed demon, but close. Same shape, same chrome teeth on the grill. Only this one was parked, idle, like it was waiting. As I drove by, it flashed its lights twice, and I felt it in my bones, not just fear, recognition, like it knew me. I pulled over half a mile later, heart thudding like a jackhammer, tried to convince myself it was coincidence. There's a lot of tricked-out rigs on the road. Maybe some gearhead liked creepy designs, except it wasn't just that one. Next day, a different truck. Black as coal, painted flames, painted this. Time, but same shape, same lights. Flash, flash every damn time, always 2 flashes. Then the dream started, always the same. I'm back on that obsidian road. Speed demon beside me, flames in the mirror. The finish line flickering like it's a mirage, but this time when I cross it, I wake up screaming. And in the dream, I'm always slower. I started asking around. Quiet-like. CB radio chatter, roadside. Diners, dusty old truck stops that reeked of diesel and old ghost stories. Found a guy in Amarillo, old-timer with more tattoos than teeth. Called himself Red. I asked him if he'd ever heard of a demon truck that races for souls. He went real still. Sipped his coffee. Didn't look at me for a full minute. Then he said, "You raced it?" I nodded. "And you won?" "Yeah, I think." So he leaned in, real serious, voice low like we were talking about a murder. "Then you're cursed." He told me the legend, more than I ever wanted to know. Said the speed demon shows up when a driver's pushed too far. Burned out, worn, down or thinking about doing something stupid like quitting. It picks the ones on the edge, challenges them just 1 mile, win and you get back your life. For a while. Lose, your rig goes empty, no trace. And your soul, you become the next demon, trapped in that chrome grill, screaming down hell's highway, waiting for the next poor bastard to flash you back. But if you win, Red said, that ain't the end. You get marked, branded. You ever notice your hands twitch on the wheel, like the truck wants to drive itself? I didn't answer. Didn't have to. He saw it in my eyes. That's the curse. You didn't escape. You just got promoted. Now you're the challenger. I left Amarillo that night. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't breathe. Red's words gnawed at me like rats in the walls of my brain. The next time I passed another rig at night and it flashed its lights, I didn't flash back. I gripped the wheel and stared straight ahead, but the road changed anyway. The shadows deepened. My speedometer spun too fast, and the CB crackled. They challenged you, Dan. You ignored it. Now you have to chase them. You know that feeling when you're not the hunter or the prey, but both at once. That's how I've been living ever since Amarillo. Since Red told me I didn't win, I just got promoted. It ain't about outrunning the speed demon anymore. It's about chasing. And if I don't, the curse drives me. After that night, the road got meaner. I don't mean potholes or bad weather. I mean the kind of road that shifts when you're not looking. The kind that eats up distance and memory, like I'd be driving for hours, only to realize I was passing the same gas station for the third time. I stopped sleeping. Too afraid I'd wake up driving a different direction. Too afraid I'd wake up and not be me anymore. And the rear view. Yeah, that became a problem, because every time I looked in it I saw them, the trucks, not just the speed demon. Others, all shapes and sizes, tankers, flatbeds, box trucks with no logos, always black, always a little too quiet, too fast, and every one of them had no driver, just a wheel turning on its own, and every one of them was following me. One night outside of Tucumcari, I pulled into a dirt lot off the highway. No lights, no buildings, just the crunch of gravel and my own paranoia. I needed to piss, drink something strong, and maybe scream into the sky. I got out, stretched, and turned to look behind my trailer. Empty. Except the heat. It was back. The wrong kind of heat, like standing in front of a furnace door. It rolled off the pavement. No flames, no smoke. Just invisible pressure, thick and ancient. I looked in the rear view, and there it was. A truck. About 30 yards back. Black as a heart attack. No lights, no engine hum. Just there, still waiting. I climbed back in my cab, slammed the door and locked it. Then the CB lit up. You can't outrun what you are. Not the speed demon's voice this time. This one was mine, but distorted. Like I was hearing a recording of myself, warped and slowed down. Echoing from someplace just outside the skin of the world. Time to collect, Dan. They challenged you, they ran. Now you hunt. I threw the mic across the cab. No, I shouted. I'm not one of you. I didn't ask for this. But the rig rumbled under me, like it disagreed. That night I drove with no route, just kept moving, hoping motion would shake the curse loose. But the mirror kept showing me that same shadowy shape. Always behind, never passing. Never backing off. Then, just before dawn, I saw headlights up ahead, a young driver hauling a small box truck. New decals. Probably just started out. Probably still believed the road was nothing but distance and time. I felt it before I saw it. The pull. My hands clenched the wheel. My foot pressed the gas just a hair harder. My eyes locked on their taillights like a hawk spotting a mouse. And the worst part? I wanted to flash my brights, not to warn them, not to signal something normal, to challenge them. I gritted my teeth, so hard my jaw popped. No, I said. Not happening. I slowed down, let them disappear over the next hill. But when they were gone, the road behind me shimmered again, and the CB lit up. They were marked. They ran, you let them go. You don't choose the hunt chooses you. I yanked the cord and tore the CB out of the dash. Sparks flew, but it kept talking. You're the mirror now, Dan. The reflection of fear, the rear-view specter. Hell. Doesn't chase forever. Eventually, when it drives, I hit the brakes so hard the trailer lurched, tires screamed. Baxter flew off the seat and landed on the floor with a confused yelp. I jumped out of the cab and ran. Right into the dark, Right. Into the desert, I screamed. Cursed the road, the demon, the race, but all I got back was silence. And in that silence I realized something that chilled me worse than that night back on the Obsidian Road. I wasn't just running from the demon. I was becoming him. Later that week, I stopped at a diner in Gallup. Same waitress I always see there, Donna. Smokes menthols like oxygen, calls everyone Hon. Normally gives me a wink and an extra sausage link. This time, she stiffened when she saw me, eyes narrowed. "You got red in your mirror, Dan?" she asked. I froze. "Excuse me. You heard me. You driving in his lane now, or is he driving in yours?" I tried to laugh it off, but she didn't smile. "You best find a way to dump that curse," she muttered, "before your reflection ain't even you anymore." And now I see things. In chrome bumpers, in windows. Sometimes it's still me, but sometimes it's a version of me with black eyes, fire behind the pupils, grinning like a jackal. Sometimes he waves, and I don't remember doing it. Let me tell you something they don't put in any driver's manual. The road doesn't just take you places. Sometimes it changes you. And if you keep your hands on the wheel long enough, your fingerprints stop mattering. Your face becomes optional, your soul negotiable. That's what was happening to me. I was driving, sure, but I wasn't always sure I was still behind the wheel. It had been 2 weeks since the last time I saw the demon. 2 weeks since I heard my own voice whispering at me through a dead CB. 2 weeks of every engine rumble sounding like a growl, and every truck stop reflection showing a face that twitched when I didn't. And then came the fog. Somewhere on the New Mexico-Texas line just after midnight, the road ahead turned into thick, rolling soup. Nothing natural. I know real fog. It crawls in from rivers and valleys. This came from underneath. It wasn't white either. It was grayish-red like storm clouds soaked in blood. And it didn't just hang in the air. It moved, pushed, like it was alive and didn't like me. I should have pulled over. Hell, I should have turned around, but the truck wouldn't stop. The brakes worked, engine was fine, but the wheel, my arms refused. Like something inside me had locked in the destination and decided I wasn't part of the conversation anymore. That's when I saw the lights. They pierced the fog like daggers, 2 beams, low, crimson, not headlights, hell lights, and behind them, the unmistakable silhouette of that monster rig, chrome grin, towering cab, the growl of 1,000 screaming souls coming from its stacks. And this time, it wasn't beside me. It was in front of me, waiting. The CB sparked again, half melted, still fused into the dash. "Welcome back, Dan. You're late. Time to finish what you started." Suddenly I remembered Red's words, something he'd said almost in passing. "If you ever see him facing you, head on, that's not a race. That's a reckoning." I slammed the brakes. The truck ignored me, still rolling forward, still headed for the speed demon who just sat there across the center line, idling in the red fog like a goddamn executioner. Then the pavement opened. Yeah, opened. The road cracked. Down the middle and underneath it wasn't dirt or gravel, just fire and chains and something crawling up from the black. I swear to God I saw a face down there, looked like mine, only melted, twisted, laughing. The speed demon revved its engine once, deep and low, and started rolling forward, not speeding, not attacking, just coming. And I could feel the heat on my skin, could smell rubber and oil and old blood. The steering wheel vibrated so hard my fingers went numb. That's when the gear shift moved on its own. It slammed from drive to R reverse, and the voice in the CB said, "You want out? Then drive like hell, because it's coming." I didn't ask questions. I downshifted, hard, and for the first time in my life I redlined a semi in reverse. Smoke poured from the tires. The trailer fishtailed. The demon lunged forward and the chase was back on. Only now I wasn't racing to win, I was racing to escape the fall. Behind me, if you can call it behind when you're reversing 60 mph, the speed demon was roaring flames, licking the sides of the cab. Chrome grille stretched into a sneer that promised unmaking. I could see faces in the flames, screaming, reaching. Some of them I recognized. One was a kid I saw crash back in Oregon. Another was a girl who vanished from a truck stop in Alabama, and one was red mouth open, eyes gone, screaming my name. The fog was folding inward like a collapsing tunnel. The road beneath me started to rise, crumble, split open. I had seconds. I reached under the seat, grabbed the emergency brake, and yanked it. The cab spun, skidded sideways. Somehow, by blind luck or fury or maybe some shred of mercy from a long-forgotten god, I lined up with a narrow strip of road still holding strong across the crumbling abyss, and I punched it. Forward, now, out. The speed demon followed, but too slow this time. It lunged, but it missed. Its grille smashed into the edge of the road, shattering the pavement like glass, and then it plunged. Down, down, back into the chasm of flame and chains and screaming metal. Silence. No fog, no fire. Just me, the cab, Baxter, howling like a banshee, and an open road under moonlight. I didn't stop for miles, didn't breathe for half of them. When I finally pulled over, my hands wouldn't let go of the wheel. And when they did, they left behind smoking prints, like the heat had come from inside. That night I slept in the bunk, shotgun in my arms, a crowbar duct taped to my door. I dreamed I was back in the race. Only this time I was in the demon's rig, and I was smiling. You ever hear a rig scream? Not the engine, not tires or brakes. The rig itself. Metal wailing like it knows it's dragging something it was never built to carry, like it's hauling damnation, and every nut and bolt wants to snap free. That's what my Kenworth sounded like after that last run. After I reversed, away from the speed demon, and barely escaped the crack in the world, it didn't feel like I was saving my soul. It felt like I just postponed the penalty. I tried to quit after that. Left the trailer at a depot outside Amarillo, sold the cab for scraps and caught a Greyhound heading east. I figured if I left the road, maybe it'd forget me. Maybe whatever pact I accidentally made would unravel, but it didn't. That night on the bus, I woke up to the driver gone, the other passengers staring ahead like mannequins, and outside the window, a convoy of black rigs rolling beside us. No, drivers, just reflections of flame and chrome. One of them flashed its brights. Twice. I got off in Tulsa and started walking. Didn't matter. Everywhere I went, mirrors, storefront windows, coffee mugs, rear-view mirrors in parked cars. Always the same thing, a black semi crawling behind me, slow and steady, and in the driver's seat. Me, eyes dead, grinning like a corpse that knew something I didn't. I met a woman in an old biker. Bar in Arkansas. Name was Lacey. Leather vest, shotgun laugh, rode her Harley like it was born with her. She said she used to haul tankers, told me she quit after a night near Truth or Consequences. I said, let me guess, red fog, wrong road. She nodded once. I won. I blinked. You too? That's not the hard part, she said, eyes dark. The hard part is not letting it drive you. She had a scar down her neck like something tried to yank her out of the cab with a chain. I asked if she ever saw the road again. All the time, she said. Any time I stare too long at the center line, or see a truck flash its brights twice. The road remembers us, Dan. She took a long drink and added, and it wants us back. I hit the road again a week later. Couldn't help it. Some of us, we don't quit. The road's in our bones. And no matter how cursed it gets, we keep. Coming back like addicts jonesing for pavement. Only now, it's not a career, it's a penance. They say purgatory's a waiting room, but for me it's a stretch of I-40 that never ends. No exits, no mile markers. Just the hum of tires and the deep rumbling laughter of something following close. 2. Close. Sometimes I catch glimpses of it in my side mirror, just a blur of chrome and smoke. Other times I feel the heat in the seat next to me. And once I looked in the passenger mirror and saw my own rig behind me, gaining fast, except I was in the cab, and I wasn't smiling anymore. I was screaming. I've tried everything. Holy water in the coolant, Bible pages under the tires, salt around. The gas tank. Doesn't matter. You don't cheat the road, you don't buy back your soul with superstition. You just keep driving until the engine stops, or the road folds in on itself and drops you into the black. And that's where I am now. 100 miles into nowhere, stars gone, no GPS, Radio dead fog in the mirrors again. I know what's coming. I can feel the hum under the wheels, hear the growl of an engine that's not mine, and there's no exit ramp this time. Just me, the mirror, and the speed demon, crawling up behind. Like a memory that wants to finish what it started. I flash my brights once, twice, and wait. And the road answers.